Hello everyone and welcome to Farmer Joe Homesteading. About a year and a half ago, I made a video about a heifer calf that we had picked up from a local dairy farm and what we were doing to train her to be the best milk cow ever. Now, she is not calved yet, which means she is not in milk, but I wanted to give you guys an update on where she's at now as a yearling heifer and what we are expecting this spring. So this is Miss Betty. She is our Black Angus Holstein Jersey Cross heifer. We purchased her in May of 2023, and she has been just the sweetest calf and now has become the sweetest heifer. So I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on all of the training and the work that we did and kind of what the follow-up of that looks like. So when Miss Betty here was a calf, we picked her up at 5 days old, and in that first 6 months, we spent copious amounts of time with her. It was probably 4 or 5 days a week at least that we were spending having her in a halter, leading her around. We'd have her stand tied. When she was really little, it would only be, 20 minutes. And then she'd get some grain and we'd let her back out to pasture. And then as she got older, we increased that time. By the time she was 6 months old, it was about an hour. We would leave her stand tied. The reason we did that is because when you start milking them, they need to be standing and they stand tied. The other thing that we did with Miss Betty in that first 6 months is when she was tied, she would get rubbed all over. So she is still used to being touched all over her entire body because we did that lots when she was a calf, including rubbing all the way down her back legs, picking up her back legs, moving her back legs, up and down her tail, and scratching on her belly and around her bag. And we've been doing that with her since she was 5 days old. And so now that she's big, it still is no big deal to her. So I can still scratch her, rub her all the way down her legs, and she could care less. She does not care where I touch her on her body. She just stands there because we've been doing it since she was really little. Now, Miss Betty has not been worked with or had anything done with her since, maybe once a month I see her out in pasture. So when she was 6 months old, we made the decision to put her out with some of the heifers because we'd weaned the beef heifers. And so she went out with a herd of beef heifers. And the reason we made that decision is because something that's common with these bottle calves is they get really pushy because they're too used to people. They're used to being all over people. And so we made the decision to put her out with the beef herd when she was about 6 months old. So she was with those other heifers. And that made a huge difference with her because it taught her space and respect. So she's used to getting pushed around and having to respect space because she's with the beef heifers. And so she's been with them ever since she was 6 months old. So she spent all last winter and spring and summer with them. And again, is with them this winter. So she spent most of her life now with the beef herd. And because we spent that 6 months with her when she was little, she's always just maintained all of the things that we have taught her. So Miss Betty right now has a halter on. She has not had a halter on since her heat in July. When she came into heat in July, we put a halter on her to load her in the horse trailer. That's the last time. It is now January. So from July to January, she did not have a halter on. And today the kids wanted to play with her and sit on her because that's something they used to do when she was younger. And so we haltered her and walked her out, and she just halters and walks out. And in July when we'd caught her, it had been months again since she'd had a halter on, and same thing. We just caught her, put a halter on her, and loaded her in a trailer. So the more time you spend with them when they are really little, they remember that, and it lasts a lifetime. She got tired of being tied because, like I said, it's been a while. So all of that work that we've done has paid off, and now she is a happy, healthy, bred heifer. So the last thing I wanted to talk about is how we know Betty is bred, because we did not see a bull breed her, and we did not pregnancy test her. But you can see she is nice and plump and round. She's an excellent winter shape. Hey, Betty girl? And I wanted to show you a couple other signs that we use to help us other than just them being fat, because sometimes they're just fat. All right, so the first thing is their back end. So if I scratch her tail here, usually she'll lift it for me. There we go. So a heifer will get loose in the back end after they have bred. So you can see she's starting to get a little looser. She's not nearly as tight as she was before being bred, and that's pretty normal for heifers. And the other thing is her teats. So her teats have developed a lot since she was really little, and so now we can actually visibly see them. They're not hiding in the hair, and her bag is starting to fill slightly. So we know that she's bred because she is preparing, her body is preparing to make milk, and her body is preparing to calve. All right, and that is all that I have for an update on our milk cow, Miss Betty. We are currently just waiting for this calf. Every time she comes down to the water hole with the beef cows, we come out and we talk to her and we pet her and rub her all over, and we're just waiting and anticipating the arrival of her calf this spring. So if you liked our video, please like it and hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you guys back, and we are really excited to be able to share our first milking experience. Hi, pretty girl. Ready to go back? Yeah, you look like it. Hi. You're so beautiful. You are. Look at you. You're just so cute. Couldn't resist a little snuggle. It's nap time, chew your cud time out here, eh? See you later. Enjoy the rest of your nap.
Mom, what number is she?
4442.
I hear her baby wiggling.
Oh, do you need a little more?